Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field for Northeastern Conference Baseball. We're finally underway. We had technical difficulties, but you didn't miss much. Salem got the leadoff hitter on with a hit batsman made around the third, but Kyle Finnegan settled down and got a big strikeout to end the inning, leave the runner at third. And Klasko will now bat in the bottom of the first. It'll be A.J. Luciano, the shortstop, leading off. Bet Buckland will play right field and bat second. The DH, David Bernard, will hit third. Playing left field and hitting fourth, Sean Devon. The first baseman, Aiden Dow, hits fifth. Batting sixth and playing third base, Deshaun Anderson. Catching and batting seventh, Cesar Carrero. The center fielder, Kevin Durant, will hit number 8 and bring up the tail end of the batting order. And pitching and batting ninth is Kyle Finnegan. Danny Lillier is the second baseman, and he's being DH for by David Bernard. So Klasko trying to get back on the winning track. They're 2-2. They played yesterday and had a down game. They had 11 walks, and they got soundly defeated by Swampscott. So they're looking to get back on their winning ways and get over 500. Salem trying to get to 500. They're 1-2. Another very cool day. Not very good for baseball, but it's a lot better than what we've had lately. A.J. Luciano was on the tear. He had 6 RBI, hit for the cycle at Winthrop on the road, came back and had 2 more RBIs the next game. He's been swinging a very hot bat, getting 8 RBI in 2 games. And he's played very well defensively at shortstop also. Bounced that one in. Joey Baez is the pitcher on the mound for Salem. In for a strike. Luciano taking all the way. Again, action going on at Meeting Field. Looks like track over there, maybe. Never a dull moment with these two complexes. And that's ball 4. And they better hurry because Luciano can go to second base. We had a situation last week when the ball went to the backstop. The catcher didn't chase it, turned around the umpire. The umpire threw him a new baseball, and the hitter took off at second base, and they threw the runner out at second.
And they let it go?
And they said, wait a minute. And they went back and said, he can stay at second base. I said, well, it's the start of the year for the umpires, too. But he flipped the ball to the catcher. The runner takes off. He got a big break. They can't throw him out. Got a huge jump. Buckland tried to bunt that pitch, trying to protect the runner. He didn't have to. Luciano got a big jump. Bounces off the catcher. Luciano will go to third. The English game yesterday, play a walk, stole second. They threw it into center field, went to third. Center fielder bobbled the ball, and the runner scored. So we had 1 batter, 1 run. In for a strike. We almost had that today. Luciano's at third. Off to catch it, but not far enough for Luciano to do anything at third. Almost kind of backed away from that one. A little drop step at home plate, hit out, foul down the right field side. Chopped high. They hold the runner, and they'll throw Buckland out. Nice play by the pitcher, Baez. I'm going to date myself. The high Baltimore chop. With nobody out in the runner at third, you're not going to take any chances trying to score. You don't want to get thrown out with nobody out at the plate. David Bernard hit the ball a ton yesterday and got nothing to show for it. He had a shot to right center field that was tracked down and hit a line drive. The shortstop went up and picked it. Salem bringing the infield in. Only the first inning, trying to cut the run off. High for a ball. On the inside corner for a strike. Wide for a ball. Swing and a miss. Chased the pitch that was down and away. So it looked promising with a runner at third and nobody out. It's now a runner at third with 2 outs. Sean Devon, the hitter. He's the son of the athletic director, Billy Devon. And he had a pretty good hockey season. With the Jets that had a very good year. Baez, the pitcher, can't keep his hat on. Pop behind second base is going to drop for a base hit. Just enough to get over the second baseman's head. A big 2-out hit by Devon gets Classical on the board. He got them started yesterday with a hit similar to that turned out to be a double. With nobody covering second, he just kept running. So he gets them started again today. Aiden Dow chops it slowly. They don't get him. It's an error on the second baseman. Dow will reach again. He's been on virtually every time he's been at bat. So the hit and the error put runners at first and second. Hit to second base. They bobble it again. Back-to-back errors. Baez, the pitcher, is going to sue for non-support. Should have been 3 outs a long time ago. Instead, it's Carrera batting with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Drops low into the turf for ball 1. Carrera is the 7th hitter in the inning. Kevin Durant, the center fielder, on deck. High for a ball. So a runner at third. Baez helped himself, throwing a runner out at first. Got a big strikeout. Looked like he might get out of it. Devin dumped a little Texas leaguer behind second base. And then back-to-back errors have extended the inning. Hit foul back and out of play. Up into the screen. That one comes back. We still got 2 stuck up there. That becomes a ritual. We usually have 6 or 8 up there. Drop slowly to second base. They got to hurry. They get him at first to end the inning. So the 2 errors don't hurt. But the little Texas League single after the leadoff walk, that one does. So we play an inning here at Frazier Field. Classical has given Cal Finnegan on the mound a 1-0 lead over Salem at the end of 1.
With a lot of the other Fox people, went to Channel 5.
Bobby Jellison, the right fielder, leads it off for Salem. Nice pitch by Finnegan.
But he's got a very good job.
Way down and away. They want to throw the pitch wide, try to make him chase, but they didn't want to throw it that wide. Five, 6, and 7 for Salem as it's chopped to shortstop. And here's Luciano over to Dowd. One up, one down. Troy Zipper, the third baseman, is the hitter. Pops it way up in the air. Dowd calls everybody off and makes the play. He's got a second put out in the inning. 2 up, 2 down quickly in the second. Brian Pena, the second baseman, will be the hitter. Popped up. There's Luciano going back several steps on the grass, makes the play. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Finnegan. Salem is down very quickly in the second inning.
I lived in Lynn all my life. I moved out last year.
8, 9, and 1 for Classical as we start the second inning, and Baez will start his second inning of work.
Because physically, it was just too much for me to continue, the upkeep of my house. And I'm so anal that.
Brian Palacios.
And
He's hitting for the pitcher Baez for Salem. For Glasgow will be Kevin Durant, Kyle Finnegan, and then back to the top of the order, Luciano.
We helped them buy a house that they wouldn't have been able to afford.
And as the track people leave over at Manning Field, the lacrosse people start showing up.
Matter of fact, the in-law suite is like 200 square feet less than what our house was. Our house was like 1680, and we're a little over 14.
That was very prescient. I was a young man. I bought a single story ranch.
1-0 Glasgow. Luciano manufactured a run. He walked, stole second, went to third in a wild pitch, scored on the big 2-out hit by Sean Devon. And that's where we are, 1-0, as we start the bottom of the second inning.
Back in '74, I paid $27,000. In '87, after my wife passed away, I sold it for $145. And bought my house on Newton Ave.
Pitch is low for a ball.
almost 31 years.
He was with Abernathy.
Glasgow
Having after the
really threatened.
2 houses down, it wasn't easy.
Thanks to 2 errors in the infield after the run was in, the bases loaded. But they finally got the out. The third straight ground ball to second base. First 2 were booted. They made the play on the last one.
Kids aren't bad. Lauren.
Well, my youngest daughter is a couple of years older than the Abernathy.
Taking all the way, Durant's in for a strike. He'll still be fussy. This has got to be a pitch he can handle. Takes it again, and the count goes full. Fouls it off to the right side out of play.
If he was talking to you, he'd be talking about me. If he was talking to me, he'd be talking about you. That's just the way he was.
That's when he wasn't talking about himself.
High for ball 4. So for the second inning in a row, Classical has the leadoff hitter on with a walk. Kyle Finnegan. Let's see if they play small ball here. The pitcher hitting, he's hitting for the second baseman, Danny Lilia. Lilia is usually the third baseman. Anderson's playing third today. They squeeze in at third base. Finnegan squares, takes the pitch for a strike. Zipper charging in from third. First baseman McGrath was anchoring. Good sized lead at first base for Durant. And they throw over, and he dives back. Tries to push it and pushes it foul down the first base side. So that'll take the bunt off now with 2 strikes. Chopped out in front of the plate, it bounces foul. Just a little swingy bunt.
I was going down to Florida last month. In all February, my friend had
So we'll do it again at 0-2.
Florida out, at Norway,
High for a ball.
But it was cool. I mean, it wasn't cold, but it was nights were cold. Nights were getting down into the high 40s, low 50s.
Yeah, it's going to be about to say a base hit, but a nice running catch by the right fielder, Jellison. That looked like another one of those Texas League is going to drop in. Durant hesitated. Good thing he did. Jellison made a nice running catch, took a base hit away from Finnegan.
Well, he lives on the west coast.
So one away. Luciano was the difference in the game. He walked and came around to score the one run.
Even I was like watching the weather when I was there, and they were saying how
High for a ball off the catcher's glove. The pass ball will move the runner down.
the weather in February was averaging like 9 degrees per day above normal. You know, so the temperatures were in the 80s all the whole month of February. And then
1-0 the count to Luciano, the Ram shortstop.
372.
yeah, high would be like 72, 73.
I'll take that.
High and tight for a ball is 2-0.
Now, I went to Cocoa Beach last time I was in Florida. And it was in September, 97 degrees.
Diving back at second is Durant as they fake the throw over there.
It's probably going to top out at 68, 69. It's not a beach game.
Solid shot to left field, inside the line. That's going to score a run. Luciano into second with a double. So he's accounted for both runs. He scored one, knocked in one. And again, the leadoff walk comes back to hurt. Kind of golfed that one and got it inside the left field line. Brett Buckland bounced out to the pitcher his one trip. High for a ball. So the pass ball helped to put Durant in scoring position. He scored easily on the double. Started to pull the trigger and held up. The pitch was high for a ball. Bounced that one, the wild pitch, moves the runner over to third. Durant took a wide turn, but he'll go back to third. Luciano, excuse me. So a runner at third with one out and a run in. Buckland had this situation in the first inning, but there was nobody out with Luciano at third. So he's got another chance for an RBI. On the inside corner for a strike. Buckland and a few more. There are others. Were part of that Babe Ruth team that won the States, won the New Englands, went to the World Tournament out in Nebraska. Mike Schukowski reaped the harvest. He got quite a few of those Babe Ruth kids to go to Classical. The other one is Christian Burt, but he's not playing. He hurt his back the first game. Hit to third. They hold the runner, and they throw Buckland out. Nice play by Zipper, the third baseman. Took a quick look. Held Luciano at third. Made the good throw. So David Bernard struck out swinging his one trip. Missing inside for a ball. Nice stop by the catcher Baez. I don't know if they're related. Baez pitching, Baez catching. We had the same situation yesterday. Left field, right field for Lynn English were both Figueroas. Hit right up the middle for a base hit. Solid shot. Another 2-out single by Klasko. Luciano scores his second run in 2 innings. Sean Devon got the other 2-out hit. Dumped one in over the second baseman's head in front of the right fielder for an RBI to get Klasko on the board in the first inning. And David Bernard just kind of strolled off first base and easily steals second. So he's in scoring position for Devon. Sean usually goes the other way. He likes to hit the ball to left field. Hits it foul back and out of play. One the count to the Ram left fielder. That one bounced in front of home plate. Held up, didn't swing. Pitch was high. Hits it straight up in the air. Baez, the pitcher, says he has it. He makes the play himself. But Klasko strikes again. A leadoff walk, as it did in the first. Hurt Salem. And then Luciano doubled and came in to score on Bernard's 2-out hit. So 2-out singles. Gets 2 of the 3 runs in. It's Klasko 3. Salem nothing at the end of 2. Brian Palacios, the DH. He's singing for the pitcher, Baez. Kyle Finnegan starting his 3rd inning of work. Mission wide for a ball. 8-9-1 for Salem. Missing outside for a ball. In for a strike. Waves at that pitch. Little late swing there. Second strikeout for Finnegan. Annuity Espinal, the center fielder. Takes it up and away for a ball. Foul tip off the catcher. That hurts even more now with this weather. That's why they talk about the catcher wearing the tools of ignorance. With all that equipment, the hand is still open. and they're gonna come out and take a look.
Yeah.
We talked about it quite a bit. This is horrific weather. You can't get loose. You're out in the field standing around with foul balls. Ball one, ball two, strike two. You got to try and keep those hands warm so you can make throws if you have to. And you can't put your hands in your pocket. You can't wear too much extra clothing. You can wear a sweatshirt. This is up and in. Fishing again.
And there have been good pitchers. Oh, Bowie, Ben Bowie.
Hit foul down the right side. That's going to make it into that grassy knoll behind first base. Finnegan winds and delivers. Hit solidly off the second baseman. Hit right on the nose. It's short hop. Lilia stayed with it. Not an easy play. It handcuffed him, but he stayed with it. Gets it over to Dowd for the out. 2 up, 2 down in the third. The leadoff hitter, Tommy Beauregard. He led off the game getting hit by a pitch. He made it around to third, but got stranded there. Hits it high in the air. Buckland in right field, almost in his tracks. Another quick 1-2-3 inning, 9 in a row retired by Finnegan. Salem is down in the third. And it'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Classical. Yeah, I think we might be getting a new pitcher.
Johnny, how much Uber back over now?
Baez is going to go to first base as we get a new pitcher. The first baseman McGrath will be the new pitcher. So Baez goes 2, gives up 3 runs. They're earned. 3 hits, walked 2, struck out 1. He'll be at first base. McGrath will be the new pitcher. And he'll face Aiden Dow, followed by Deshaun Anderson and Cesar Carrero. Here in the bottom of the third. We mentioned Classical trying to get back over 500. They're 2-2. Salem looking to get to 500. They're 1-2. I go back many years to Salem when they had the Jeff Judens and the Mike Giottis, the David Angelramos, when they were winning state championships. So Dow will be the first hitter that McGrath faces. Aiden Dow reached on an error, one of back-to-back errors in the first inning. They didn't do any damage.
Gotta start becoming a little seasoned.
Well, he mentioned first time at bat, he got a base hit, knocked in 2 runs. Yesterday, first at bat, got a base hit, knocked in a run, then ended with 2 more hits. He had 3 hits in yesterday's game. Pops it up, and shortstop makes the play. They're calling it a catch. Mike Zukowski saying he trapped it. Dow's staying at first, but he's going to be out. It's going to be a pop-up to the shortstop.
I wish they had replay because I thought he trapped it as well. You thought he
Mike Zukowski, I think he was saying that after he caught it, he bobbled it near the second base bag when he slipped and fell. But the umpire said no, he held on to it. Deshaun Anderson reached on an error.
Surviving the ground is the dumbest thing I ever heard.
I don't understand. Well, aren't they supposed to make some change?
They did.
Oh, they did?
High for a ball.
But the thing is, it's the same rule that the Patriots got a touchdown on. They not got one, but they got the advantage in that Pittsburgh game. Exact same catch in Philadelphia.
That one's in for a strike.
They called it a touchdown. Remember?
I don't get it. It's like no one knows.
It misses inside for ball 4. First walk given up by McGrath. Third walk given up by Salem pitching. The other 2 walks scored, and it brings a trip out to the mound. Very quick trip out to the mound. McGrath has only faced 2 hitters. He got 1, walk 1.
Whoever came up with that.
And there's warm-up action in the bullpen for Salem.
They slow it down so much. And I just think that if it's something that you can't see, you can make it up.
Cesar Carrero, the catcher for the Rams.
Slow it down so much. Nothing looks the same when it's,
Real time versus.
Anderson can run at first, and he does. He takes off. He got a big jump. They didn't hold him at all. Easily into second base with a stolen base. Classical 3 for 3 for stolen bases. They got another runner in scoring position. Down and away for a ball.
I didn't watch the game. I saw, the score on the news this morning. I was shocked, frankly.
Hit up the middle for a base hit. The run's going to score. They throw the ball home. They get him at second base. Eight to 2 to 6 for the putout. This time it's a 1-out hit for Classical. Get the run home. In for a strike. Durant walked leading off the second inning and came around to score. Second leadoff walk that scored in the ballgame. Curveball drops down and in for a ball. Hit right back to the mound. McGrath will take care of the play. But once again, a walk hurts. Classell's got 4 runs, 3 of them were walks. And they've increased that lead. It's now Classical 4-0 over Salem as we start the 4th inning. Ruben Baez, the catcher, throws right, bats left. Hits it in the air. Sean Devon on his horse. Nice play, running catch out in left center field. That's a very nice defensive play by Sean Devon. Takes extra bases away from Baez. Brady McGrath, who was the first baseman, he's now the pitcher. Grounded out second and first is 1 trip. Down and away for a ball. In the air to left. Devon settles under it, makes it, and dropped it.
So he makes a circus catch and they can't catch from right there. 7.
Looked like it hit the heel of his glove. He went back, settled under it, had it. And he just flat out dropped it. Finnegan had retired 10 in a row before McGrath reaches on the error. Jacob Pena, the left fielder, struck out swinging his 1 trip. Hit to center field. Durant makes the play. Two away. Bobby Jellison grounded out, shot to first is 1 trip. Drops down and away for a ball. Hit in a right center field for a base hit. That's going to get Salem on the board. They throw it all the way to the plate and throw it away. They had no chance at the plate at all. That's the first hit given up. Should have been out of the inning. So Jellison gets the hit and he moves into scoring position, throwing the ball home. Troy Zippa popped up to the first baseman. In for a strike. Slices it foul the opposite way. Wide for a ball. They throw it down. Carrero likes that play. He's done it several times in the games we've done here. Did it 2 or 3 times yesterday in the Swampscott game. Hit in the left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. It gets away in the outfield. The second error in the outfield is going to move the runner to second base. So 2 out Lightning by Salem. Zipper held up at first, and he saw the ball bobbled in the outfield and took off. He's in scoring position. And all of a sudden, it's 4-2. In an inning that should have been a 1-2-3 inning. Finnegan had retired 10 in a row. Back-to-back hits after the error extended the inning. In for a strike. Good curveball by Finnegan. Had Brian Pena backing away. He's popped up to the shortstop his one trip. Nice stop by the catcher on a pitch in the turf. Hit foul past third base. Hit in the air to center field. Durant started back, now becomes on. Makes his second play in the inning. But Salem gets on the board. They put two. They cut the lead in half. They get their first two hits. Glasgow made two errors in the inning. So we're halfway through the ballgame with Glasgow leading it 4-2 now. And it will be 9-1-2 for the Rams. This is a senior-laden team for Glasgow. They got 9 seniors. But they still got a little bit to build on next year with Bernard and Buckland and Anderson, Finnegan, Dow, DiFilippo, who's filled in for Burt at second base, playing a lot. This is the first game we haven't seen DiFilippo at second base. Finnegan dumped one in the right field, and the right fielder, Jellison, made a nice running catch to take a hit away. So he'll lead it off, and then back to the top of the order, Luciano and Buckland to face Brady McGrath. Will be starting his second inning of work. Finnegan gave up his first 2 hits in the 4th inning. The 2 hitters that hit, the only reason they were up, the error in the outfield extended the inning. Hit to the first baseman. Baez will make the play himself. Finnegan hit it on the nose, but hit it right at the first baseman. 1 away. Luciano was perfect. He walked and scored, doubled in a run and scored. In for a strike.
Now, does he play hoops too?
Hit by the third baseman. Luciano's got another base hit. Boy, he's really swinging the bat.
I think the last time it was this close, this game, was when I was coaching you.
Brett Buckland. Bounce to the pitcher, bounce to third.
Stayed cold right through there.
And this isn't Brett Buckland. This is Nico Galizzi. And they pick him off at first base. Luciano was going to go, and they picked him off.
Who's that, Galizia? Or Buckland?
Galizzi's only a freshman. Missing wide for a ball.
Yeah. The way the weather's been trending lately,
In for a strike.
having spectacularly warm days, right? It's the middle of October.
Swing and a miss. In on the hands, he swung right through it.
Yeah, well, they have actually.
Hit by the first baseman in the right field. So back-to-back hits, but they only got one base from it because the other one was picked off. David Bernard struck out and hit a solid shot into center, right through the pitcher's box into center field for a base hit and got an RBI. And they almost picked him off.
Unusual for right-handed pitchers to pick him up. Well, I mean, the other kid, he was throwing, he was leaning the wrong way. He's got a pretty good move over there.
Another big jump. No chance to throw him out. They're reading it very well. That's 4 for 4 in stolen bases. They got one in each of the 4 innings. So another runner in scoring position for Classical. Boy, they're getting big jumps at first base.
It was 10-1, I think.
Right back to the pitcher.
I gotta say, Mookie Betts. Whenever we're talking about the best players in the
Bernard hit it hard, but hit it right at the pitcher. So they get 2 hits in the inning. One is picked off.
What do you have, 3 runs left?
3 homers.
So we finished 4. Classical on top, 4-2 over Salem. First pitch is high and away to Brian Palacios, leading off the 5th inning.
See you later.
Mike Ciardi passing by. Very good basketball coach at Salem. Was a very good athlete at Salem. Baseball, basketball, football. In for a strike. Palacios struck out swinging against Finnegan. Hits it foul out of play. Chopped out in front of the plate. They're going to have to hurry. They don't get him and they throw it away. It's a hit and an error. They weren't going to get him, but they tried anyway. Palacios reached on the hit. Now we'll go to second on the error. 3 errors for Classical. airmailed that one over Dowd's head. Buckland hustled, holding him at second base. He could have gone to third. That throw was down the right field line. In for a strike. Annuity Espinal. Annuity Espinal, the center fielder, grounded out second to first. Off the catcher, and the runner goes to third. The wild pitch. Well, the Salem dugout comes to life. They were trailing 4-0, didn't have a hit. They got 2 in the fourth. Now they got a runner at third trying to eat into that 4-2 lead. Glasgow will bring the infield in. In for a strike. Breaks down and away. Nice job by Carrera to go get it. Hit back to the mound. Finnegan holds the runner. Almost threw it away. Little high throw to first. One away. Tommy Beauregard get hit by a pitch and fly to right. On the corner for a strike. Long run for Buckland, can't find it. Foul down the line. And it's not Buckland, I should say. That's Galizzi out there in right field. They're way over near the right field line. Waste pitch trying to get him to chase, threw it too far outside. But they're playing Beauregard way off the line. He pops it, foul. Missed by a foot or two for a base hit. Fishing wide for a ball. Slices it foul again off to the right side. Chopped it to third. Anderson held the runner, and then the runner takes off and scores. Good base running. Anderson held the runner, and as he turned to throw to first, Palacios took off. So Beauregard will get an RBI. Salem is close to within 4-3. 2 outs here in the fifth. Ruben Baez gets a base hit in the right center field. So with 2 outs, Salem has the tying run at first base. The pitcher, Brady McGrath, grounded to second. It was his fly ball that was dropped in the outfield, and he came around and scored the first run. In for a strike. And the new ritual here at Fraser and Manning Field, the bike brigade. Not many today. There was like 12 of them that came through the group yesterday. Only 5 of them. Hit high in the air. It's going to go out of play. Hit foul. The runner was off and running. High for a ball. Just got back. He almost took an extra step like he was going to go and just barely got back. They almost caught him. Foul tip again. When pitch, try to check his swing. The pitch was down and in. And Finnegan actually got a piece of the bat as it fouled off. Baez has to go back to first base. Hit on the ground off the second baseman. Lilia was going to go over and cover second. On the runner was going, and he hit behind him, and that's another error off the glove. So Salem looking for a lot of 2-out lightning to get the tying run at third base. 2 more errors in the inning. Normally that would have been an easy play for Lilly, but he was going to his right to cover the bag for the steal, and it was hit to his left, and it went off his glove. With the runner going, Baez easily gets to third, so now first and third, what does Classical do if the runner goes? Nice stop by Carrero on a pitch that was down. So Classical was leading 4-0. It's now 4-3, and they have a runner at third. Little off hop. Lilia stays with it, feels it right about midsection. Throws Pena out. But Salem gets a little more momentum. Top of the 5th, they get another run. Helped up by a throwing error by the pitcher. They pick up 2 more errors. We'll move into the bottom half of the 5th. The Classical lead has been shrunk to 4-3. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Rams. Sean Devon, Aiden Dow, Deshaun Anderson to face Brady McGrath, who will start his 3rd inning of work, coming on relief of Joey Baez. You look out and you say, blue skies, puffy clouds, sun shining. Must be a beautiful spring day. And that would be in Miami or Los Angeles. We had better weather in November and December. People were sitting out in football games that didn't wear as much clothing as they're wearing here for baseball. By the time everybody loosens up, the Navigators will be playing here, and the season will be over. And snow coming tomorrow. And why not? We're on the downside of April, aiming for May.
It all depends, you know. If you like baseball,
And all it's been is 40, 40, 40. At night in the 30s, the wind. Even when it gets high 40s, the wind's blowing 80 miles an hour.
you have to be noisy.
Just can't warm up. John Dever singled in a run and popped to the pitcher his 2 trips. And he made a great running catch in left center field.
But then again, as I was told many times by
And that was big because it was an inning where Salem scored 2 runs.
I'm in the minority.
It's really strange looking out and seeing the pant legs of the players blowing. Hit to center field. What a play by the shortstop. Tommy Beauregard. That's an ESPN highlight tape. That's a base hit taken away. Highway robbery by Beauregard. Devin had a base hit. Beauregard went out over the shoulder in short center field and made the play. Outstanding play. Aiden Dow reached an error and popped to the shortstop. In for a strike, 1-1. Lined in the left center field for a base hit. Taking the turn, he's going to get in with a stand-up double. He slides. He could have gone in for a stand-up double. So that play by Beauregard is even bigger now. Boy, Dow's made a name for himself. He's earned himself a spot in the lineup. Deshaun Anderson has been on base twice. He reached on an error, walked, and scored. Down and away for a ball. Chop foul past third base.
I do them all, but I don't do the scoreboard. I sell the tickets.
I know that. Did you get to watch much of it?
No.
So I try to understand what the hell is going on.
Missing down and in, bounces. Down moves to third on the wild pitch.
They would have appeared to have had some of the best talent around.
Oscar looking to get a little bit of a nudge here. The lead has been cut to 1. Pitching from the stretch. Line foul. Actually hit the light pole. What are the odds you could do that?
I want to say yes.
There's a thin light pole
Wasn't really involved, so I don't.
hanging
Everything I heard about it was that
in the stands just as you go down the stairs. The odds of hitting that are astronomical. And Anderson just did it. Salem brings their infield in.
it's a shame that,
Hit foul to the backstop.
Clearly a case of Wilmington had one player on that team that they couldn't match up with him. Killed him.
Swing and a miss. He gets him. That's a big strikeout. And of course, we're not the only area. I'm looking at baseball on TV, and all the players are wearing headgear under their caps, covered up. Can't tell who the players are. If they didn't have numbers on their back, you wouldn't know who they were. They got their mouths covered up, their heads covered up under their caps with all the weather. Games being canceled all over in Major League Baseball. So it's not just here, it's everywhere. The Red Sox were very happy to get out of Boston and go to L.A. Hit the second base. They'll get Carrero. So Glasgow had the runner at third with one out. They strand him there. We played 5 full here at Fraser Field. It's still that skinny 1-run lead by Glasgow. Glasgow 4, Salem 3 at the end of 5. In for a strike to Bobby Jellison, the right fielder, leading off the 6th inning for Salem. Missing wide for a ball. Popped up. Down in foul territory, just into the first base coach's box. Makes the play.
I love the fact that he caught the ball with 2 hands.
Popped up outside third base. Anderson giving chase. Can't make the play. Now, now it's not an error, but should this hitter get on base, that would be an error.
It's an error anyway.
If they get the hitter out, it doesn't go in the record books as an error. If he gets on base, it's an error. Up and away for a ball. Lined in the left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. It skipped past Durant, but Devin was there to cover up. So it now is an error on Anderson. That's the 5th error in the ball game for Glasgow. Brian Pena has popped up and flied to center field. His pop-up was to the shortstop. So Salem has the tying run at first. So Finnegan is hurt again by errors. Should be 2 outs and nobody on. He should have had 3 in a row on the 4th. With the fly ball dropped, Salem got 2 hits after that and scored 2 runs.
They're gonna score one, they never score two.
Swing and a miss.
I've been noticing that both games, not a lot of like swinging strikes.
Hit in the air. Durant coming on in center field makes the play. He dropped it, but he dropped it looking to throw the ball to first base.
So is that not considered an out?
2 away.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Brian Palacios struck out, singled and scored. He scored the 1 earned run that Salem has. The other 2 runs were unearned. They took off. Lilia has to go chase it. He can't get it. Safe at second base. Lilia again, that similar to the play of the inning before. He was going over to cover the base runner. The ball was popped away from him. He had to run and go get it. Not far enough for Galisi to go get it in the outfield. And it winds up a base hit. And the tying runners in scoring position for Anudi Espinal. He is grounded to second and grounded to the mound. High for a ball. So that's a pop-up that easily would have been caught by the second baseman, but he was running over to his right to cover second on a potential steal. In for a strike. Plus the fact that Lilia has been playing third base. He hasn't had that much work at second base. And it's a totally different position. Down and in for a ball. That's ball 4. So Salem has the bases loaded for the leadoff hitter. Tommy Beauregard got hit by a pitch. Fly to right. Bounced out third to first. He got RBI when he bounced out third to first. He's got the only RBI that was earned. The 2 and the 4th were unearned. And now Salem threatening, down a run. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. In for a strike. Finney has pitched a very good ball game. He's on pins and needles. 2 good pitches on the outside corner. Guerrero sets up way wide, a little too far wide on that waste pitch. Got to get in a little closer to the plate if he wants him to swing at that pitch. Hit foul, that's going to make it up in the seats. We'll do it again. Hit in the air to left field. Devin started back. Durant comes in behind shortstop and makes the play. Devin stepped back like he was going to go get it. Then he had to come on, and Durant wound up behind the shortstop making the play. So Salem loads the bases, but they leave them loaded. They leave the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. Finnegan gets out of trouble. The error almost cost him. It'll be 8-9-1 for Classical in the bottom of the sixth. Kevin Durant, Cal Finnegan, A.J. Luciano to face Brady McGrath, who will start his fourth inning of work. He gave up a run in the third, but he's danced out of trouble otherwise. He gave up 2 hits in the fourth, but he picked one of them off. Dow made it around to third base after a double and a wild pitch, but McGrath got a big strikeout for the second out and then got a ground out for the third out.
Is he new?
And kept Classical off the board. Northeastern Conference with probably the biggest conference in the state with 16 teams. So the natural rivalries like English Classical, Marblehead, Swampscott play each other twice, but otherwise you only get to play each team once. Durant squared like he was in a bunt, took the pitch for a strike. He's walked and scored and was thrown out by the pitcher. And he's facing McGrath for the second time. So with Somerville, Medford, Malden, and Everett coming into the league, the league ballooned to that 16 teams. Hit right up the middle in the center field for a base hit. Durant's on for the second time. And let's see if Finnegan tries to bunt them along. So they're playing male and female sports, everything except football. Everett will have a independent schedule. And that'll be the only team that doesn't play everybody in all sports. It's funny how they won't play them in football, Northeastern Conference, but they'll play them in basketball. And Everett is just as strong in basketball last few years as they are in football. The runner takes off. Gets a good pitch to run on. Perfect with their stolen bases. The fifth inning was the only base they didn't steal a base. They're 5 for 5. Let's see if he tries to bunt in the third. Pop foul back and out of play. So it appears that Mike Sukowski's going to try to go for an inning rather than one run. Bottom of the sixth, Classical led at one time 4-0. It's now 4-3. Swung through that pitch. That was up and away. He swung right through it.
He swung.
Second strikeout from McGrath. A.J. Luciano's had another big day. Walked and scored, doubled in a run and scored, singled. So he's 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Not bad for your leadoff hitter. It's a solid shot. That's by the center fielder. That's going to go all the way to the scoreboard. Luciano is going to have a stand-up triple. They're waving him home. They get him at the plate.
I think so.
Nice tag by the catcher at the plate for the second out. Luciano gets his third hit and his second RBI. We mentioned how last week against Winthrop he hit for the cycle and knocked in 6 runs in that game. Had a walk to go along with it. Khaleesi's up for the second time. He got a base hit his first trip.
I cannot see that friggin' scoreboard. Yeah, I put that run up, right?
Yes.
Swing and a miss. High and tight for a ball. Little chin music there.
The other
A little
one,
high to take.
the other one was too. I'm just goofing.
Yeah.
Swings through it for strike 3. So McGrath gets 2 strikeouts in the inning, but Luciano's triple gives Kyle Finnegan another run to work with. As Classical gets a run on 2 base hits. We're down to the 7th inning. 3 outs left for Salem. We'll finish 6, 5-3. Classical over Salem.
It's not the same person I thought it was.
Ruben Baez takes the first pitch for a ball. Pop to third, line to left field. A great play by Devon, taking extra bases away in the 4th inning. Last time up, he got a base hit. Slices it foul the opposite way. So Salem needs a rally. 7th inning, 5-3, they're down. Luciano's big triple has given Finnegan an extra run to work with, and now he hits him. Second hit batsman. And that allows Salem to bring the tying run to home plate. Brady McGrath is grounded out, reached on an error and scored, and reached on an error. Classical has made 5 of those. Hit on the ground into center field for a base hit. All of a sudden, Salem has the tying runs on base. Will they go small ball to move them over? I'll look for a hit. It's the cleanup hitter, Jake Opena, struck out Fly to center, ground to second base. Gets the bunt down. They throw it away. They're going to tie the game up. 6 errors in the ball game for Classical. Second on Finnegan. And Salem has the go-ahead run at third. In for a strike. Bobby Jellison grounded out, singled in a run and scored, popped to the first baseman. Classical brings the infield in. What a turn of events. They tried to get the runner at third, and they threw it away. And went all the way down the bullpen area. The runner from first scored. And all of a sudden, we have a tie ball game. And Salem has the go-ahead run at third with nobody out. So it looked like we might get out of here in 6.5. We're going to go at least into the bottom of the 7th, if not further. Nice job by Carrero to go up and get that one. Curveball hangs up and in. Hit to right field. That's going to be deep enough. Galizzi makes the play. The run will score easily. And that's going to bring Mike Zukowski out of the dugout. Classical is going to gift wrap this one. 6 errors in the ball game. Only one of the runs is earned. And we're going to get a new pitcher. A.J. Luciano will take over on the mound for the Rams. In for a strike. Troy Zipper popped to first, singled in a run, and singled. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Hits it foul back. Quickly, it's 2 strikes. So Classical kind of gift wrapping this one. They led 4-0. They now trail 5-4. High for a ball. High again for a ball. Luciano came in relief yesterday and finished out the game. Hit the shot. Lilia makes the play over to Dowd for the second out. Brian Pena popped the shot, fly to center his last 2 trips. Picked that one off his ear, fouled it back up in the seats. Yo. Finnegan will make the play. So, third out, but the big error in the inning gets Salem a momentum. They put 3 on the board, and now going into the bottom of the 7th inning, Salem leading it 5-4. We start the 7th inning. I said 5-4. It's 6-5 the score. Salem getting 3 unearned runs. They get 5 unearned runs. 6 errors by Classical. Classical needs a run to keep it going. Baez is off the hook. He pitched the first 2 innings, went out trailing. Hit on the ground to second base. 1 up, 1 down. They dropped it at first base. They giveth and they taketh away. Sean Devon singled in a run, popped to the pitcher, and had a base hit taken away on a great play.